All right, welcome guys to Chasing Tents. This is the second episode of my return to Chasing Tents after a 12-month break. I was studying a master's in automotive journalism at a university. I'm now a qualified journalist, but I didn't make a single video in that whole time. Now, I was requested by a lot of people about what are the costs of keeping multiple retro bikes in a garage. So what I will do like a yearly thing, because I tend to service, depending on the mileage, I do a yearly service, on some bikes, but I do a service once every 2 years, depending on the mileage. So I'm going to use my phone, so you've got to bear with me because I've written everything down here. So in terms of road tax, so road tax is pretty standard with all the bikes. Road tax in the UK, this is if you're not from the UK, so around £10, round figure, £10, 70 pence, say £11 per bike per month. So except the race bike, no, it's not on the road, no road tax. Then you've got MOT, so Ministry of Transport UK. If you're not from the UK, basically a yearly check on the bike. They check the tires, they check the bike to make sure it is actually safe to be on the road. I think if your bike is more than 40 years old, then you don't have to get this done. And I think if your bike is more than 40 years old, then you don't have to pay road tax. Please do correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Now, MOT is around £28. That is the test, MOT test per bike. My bikes pass every time, no kind of majors or minors. I do keep them in a very good shape because I don't really ride them very often, that's why. Anyways, secondly, insurance. Now this is quite important. Now, Footman James, I have no sponsorship with any insurances. I really don't have any sponsors of this for this channel. So last year I was with Carol Nash. This year I'm with Footman James. Now, Footman James, for all the classic bikes you see here, it's £280 for the whole year, which is pleasantly surprising actually. But I'm only allowed to do 2,000 miles in the whole year on all the bikes. All right, included. Now, I don't really do that many miles, but this year I'm going to plan to increase that to 5,000 because there are two new bikes in the stable, and we'll go through all the maintenance costs for them as well. So these are the main kind of costs which you got to pay anyways. Then let's start with the Suzuki GSXR. What costs? So what I've done with the Suzuki GSXR, so a full service, a new battery, a very good condition second-hand alternator from Holland, because I blew up the alternator by the charging system by putting the negative on the positive and the positive on the negative on the, don't ask, schoolboy error, stupid mistake, never again. Carburetors cleaned twice because we couldn't find the problem why the bike was running rough, so I had them cleaned twice thinking it's the carburetors. And because I had the dyno jet kit, people were telling me dyno jet kits are not good, you need to move back to standard. So eventually I moved back to standard needles, standard everything on the carburetors. So full service, alternator, new battery, carburetors cleaned twice, and carburetors back to standard now, with a dyno test, I think 131 bhp. This was the price here, £550 altogether. All right, bike runs beautifully now, no problems whatsoever. Then we move on to the Aprilia RSV4 RF. This is my race bike, this is my track bike. Now, I've not done any racing or track days for about 2.5 years, partially because of my master's degree, partially because my mortgage went double, thanks to Rishi Sunak and that kind of period, and when Liz Truss and all that, when all that happened, so my mortgage just simply doubled. Anyways, I'm digressing. So this one, it desperately needed some valve spring changes. Now, I got an absolute cracking deal from an absolute Aprilia guru in Germany, Andreas. He's been watching my videos a long time. He proactively messaged me and we were just talking about stuff, and he was like, you know what, you can pop down to Germany, I'll get the work done, and it will be much cheaper than what I was quoted in the UK. And to be honest, the UK mechanic, the main person, he was so inundated with work, and Andreas fitted me in straight away. So considering I took this to Germany in my car, trailer, in the ship to Holland, so from Harwich to Hook of Holland and then to Germany, that was including all the cost of it. This is before the just before the Trump war, the Trump-Iran war. So so the prices of fuel were not that bad. So this was, bear with me please, this cost me altogether £1,500. If you think about it, £900 was for the parts, my travel, the ticket of the ship, the fuel I used to go to Germany, and his labor. I got a cracking deal, honestly. Wouldn't have got it any cheaper. But the best thing is with Andreas, not only he changed the valve springs, obviously a full service, he cleaned the bike, because I've had a few crashes, never cleaned it from inside, cleaned the bike properly, and he sorted out all my tangly wires. I mean, take one example, IRC blipper on this bike, which is an auto blipper. The wire for that is probably, I don't know, 5 meters long, and it was all over the place. So he organized, sorted it, and the bike runs perfectly. So I'll take it to a track day very soon as a kind of a shakedown test. Okay, so one very important point I forgot to mention about the Aprilia RSV4 RF is the insurance factor. Now this motorcycle, because it's a race bike, it doesn't need any road tax, and it doesn't need the yearly safety check, which is the MOT, but it does need an insurance. I mean, it doesn't even need the insurance, but I still insure it every year just to be on the safe side, and I am kind of contemplating on it every year. I mean, this year I paid nearly £600, so £590 I think for the whole year, which includes every single upgrade on this bike. This is a policy which doesn't cover me for track days or racing. I must make that clear. So I've still told B-Moto, which is the track day, which is the insurance company, to insure this as a comprehensive policy, as if I was riding it on the road. But I've told them this bike is not ridden on the road. I didn't get any discount for it. They did tell me I can have a policy which is kind of a garage only policy, or a policy where I'm transporting the bike to a track day, and if something happens they'll cover it. And to be honest, the price for that was $560, and this was $580, and I still continue my no claim bonus. So if I mean, on classic bike insurance policy, you don't earn a no claim bonus, but you do earn a no claim bonus on a comprehensive policy. So I've kept it on the comprehensive policy, and to be honest, you know, it's been good. B-Moto have been fantastic. Every single upgrade has been listed, and you know, they have not really increased this policy for the last few years, and it's all right. But I am still contemplating on it. Should I keep it on? Should I not? Because now I've also activated, the bike came with a tracker, a bike tracker, and it's a $9.99 a month subscription, so £10 a month subscription for the tracker, so I know where the bike is. And if the ignition is not on, and if the bike has been moved more than 2 meters, I think, I get a notification on my app saying someone's moved the bike. So that, I thought I'll mention that, and the clever people amongst you might notice a different scene or a different shot, because this scene was shot the next day, because I forgot to mention this point about the Aprilia. Let's move to the next bike, which is going to be the Ducati. This one is a new bike in the stable. This is a Ducati 900 Superlight. Absolutely love this thing. Very lightweight bike, and this is the one with the white frame, the Mark 1, and this is 517 out of 1,000 I think they made. I might be wrong, please do correct me. Now with this bike, not done anything, only bought it recently, and Ducati Chelmsford have very kindly done a full service on it. Absolute full service, so absolutely fine. I didn't spend anything on the servicing. This one I bought to go to the Ducati track day at Donington, the 100 years of Ducati track day at Donington. Bought it in a hurry, don't regret it. Brilliant bike. Might sell it one day once I've done it proper. But what I've done to this bike in terms of costs, servicing, rebuilt the calipers before I went to the track day, because the bike hadn't run for about 15 months, and the first thing what happens on a track day with classic bikes is the calipers really jam up, so you got to get them sorted. So did a full service on the bike and got the calipers kind of cleaned, sorted. It was brilliant. At the track day, I think I have blown the fuse of the fuel pump, I've been told, because it did stop on me on the track. That's for another video. So actually, cost-wise, it cost me, where are we? Aprilia, Triumph, Honda, Suzuki, Ducati. Here we go. £190. So have I missed any prices? No, I haven't missed any prices. Honda CBR 1000F. Now with this bike, full service, £180. Everything included, every single fluid change, everything done on this. Runs brilliantly. Took it to a European tour thing, which I don't really do much. I'm not really a big road rider, but you know, it was good. The bike was absolutely brilliant. Got a touring kit on this from Krauser, which I got from eBay from a gentleman. I mean, what an absolute solid piece of kit. I'm actually going to do a special video on this touring kit. You get 2 big Krauser bags, actually suitcases I should call it, or in Indian, techi, which my mates laugh at me all the time. So yeah, 2 big suitcases, and it was just brilliant, absolute panniers, you know, brilliant. All right, this one, the Triumph 900. I tell you what, let me tell you, if I don't start, so most of these bikes are carburetors, except the Aprilia is fuel injection, and the Ducati 907 IE is fuel injected as well. But if I don't start these bikes or don't empty the fuel from the carburetors, they all can show me some problems. This Triumph, you don't ride it for 2 years. Just start straight away. This is my favorite bike in the group. This is the Triumph Daytona 900 Super 3. The cost for this one, nothing went wrong on this one, except actually a crank sensor wire loom issue, a small dongle, which is called a crank sensor, which I've heard it fails quite a lot. Had that done and a full service, £190. I've been told I need to get some work, do some work on the carburetors. It pops and bangs too much, and it only did 93 bhp or 94 bhp on the dyno, which is about 10 or 12 less than it should be. So I'm going to get the SP Engineering exhaust married to the carburetors. So yeah, there's not much cost involved actually. The Aprilia obviously was the biggest expense, because I mean, I have done 9,000 track kilometers easily, you know, and I think at 6,000 track kilometers you should be, I'm saying kilometers because that's on the Aprilia manual, at 6,000 track kilometers you should be changing valve springs. So I was well due. So that 1,500 was well spent, because in the UK I was quoted 2,500, but that's 1,500 including everything, full service, the whole lot. I don't want to carry on too much. I've explained everything to you. These were the costs. I'll see you in the next video. More videos like this coming up. Please do like and subscribe, and look after yourself.